We do start WCPO 9 News at 6 with this look at the protest. This is from Sky 9. As you can see, crowds are a bit smaller today, but calls for justice continue in downtown Cincinnati. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tanya O'Rourke. We are now on day 7 of scenes like this in downtown Cincinnati, but the message hasn't changed. Protesters want systemic changes following the death of George Floyd. WCPO 9's PAOLA SURO has been following the protest today. PAOLA.
Yeah, you know, Tanya, we started at the courthouse. We were there starting at noon today, where the group went from 20 to, look at this, more than 130 here at City Hall. We walked with them from the courthouse. It was raining, but obviously nobody cared. Everyone had their fists up, and they had these signs that you can still see throughout the crowd. And here at City Hall, I mean, we've seen several city officials speaking. We saw him, Democratic candidate for Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey. She spoke earlier today. We saw Hamilton County Clerk of Courts Aftab Purabal walking around the crowd earlier. We saw council members David Mann and Greg Landsman. Commissioner Denise Driehaus is here as well, and she was also at the courthouse. I saw her earlier today speaking to the protesters one-on-one. And you know, I've been talking to a lot of the people here today. They said they planned on starting at 1 p.m. at the courthouse, but they think the weather kind of held it all up a little bit. It was raining here around 2-3 o'clock. But even so, you know, one person I spoke to, she's a 21-year-old girl from northern Kentucky. She's here, and she was just cleared to walk after she tore her meniscus. Her name's JAELYN Bonner. She says it's so important for her to be here because she is seeing change happen firsthand. Listen.
Bring those who murder innocent lives to hold them accountable, because there are several instances you see on Twitter, all the threads and stuff, of those names that you don't hear on the news every day. And I think that is so unfortunate for those people who don't get that recognition like Mr. Floyd did.
But as I mentioned earlier, really the energy has changed here. There's been a lot of people chanting, holding their fists up in the air. When we were walking here from the courthouse, people walked outside of their businesses and held their their fists up in the air in solidarity as well. So that's really what we've been seeing all day. And a lot of people are here also. They tell me they want to peacefully protest. I was even handed a flower at one point while I was here. And they said all they want is peace, but they also want their message to be heard. But for now, we're live in front of City Hall. PAOLA SURO, WCPO 9 News.